Welcome to KDKP Noire. I'm K Noire. It is the first full video for a new year, and I just want to come on and say thank you for those of you who have actually tuned in, whether you clicked through the video or whether you're tuned in completely. Thank you so much for watching. We are excited to be here, and I'm excited to be doing what I'm doing. I talk K-drama, I talk K-pop, I talk the merging of the two, and sometimes just what's happening in the industry today, or the next day, or to come. So thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned. The Golden Disc Awards just occurred in Taipei, and they were actually pretty consistent with all the awards that have gone on this season. I think this one in particular was good for a lot of reasons. They had great performances, overall view, and kind of awarded like everybody. This was the 40th anniversary of the Golden Disc Awards. So you had two different types of awards that they redesigned for people to receive. The awards themselves were presented by An Ho-sep, who you know from K-pop Demon Hunters as Jin Yu, and you also know from Business Proposal. We had the Baeyeon Woo from Lovely Runner, and we also had Song Joong-ki, who was from Descendants of the Sun, that presented as well too. But let's go into the winners. The top winner of the night was Jennie, and she brought home 3 major awards for the show. She brought home Album of the Year, and that was Artist of the Year. She brought home the Global Impact Award. G-Dragon also brought home a huge award for Song of the Year for his compilation with his bandmates Taeyoung and Daesung for their Home Sweet Home song as well too. Now, we saw a lot of awards go forth, but I think one in general that people are talking about now is from Stray Kids. And Stray Kids brought home Album of the Year for Karma. Now, which is not surprising. If you've listened to that whole album, it's a hit after hit after hit with Karma. So I'm not surprised. And again, I talk about it and I'll say it, but their whole tour just dominated the industry for the year. It was the largest world tour done by K-pop artists. So I think they deserved Album of the Year. But that's not what people are talking about. They're talking about two things. They're talking about Bang Chang and Changbin's speech. And Bang Chang, who we now all call Chris, and his speech, along with his bandmate Changbin, the remarks they made regarding how people judged them. They said people pretty much said they didn't like their music. Too noisy, wasn't enough K-pop, was too different, not really included in the genre. But at the end of the day, they stayed with what they know. And if you know anything about Changbin and Bang Chang, who is now known as Chris, and Han, they're part of 3RACHA, which is the production group for Stray Kids. They produce all of their music, and a lot of their music is original. So they stuck with what they knew. The other artist that took home some awards was, Jennie's bandmate, which was Rose. She took home one of the digital songs of the year, Bong Song, for Toxic to the End. And people were really loving that. It was the best group, which was given to Monster X. Now, Monster X, they all finished their military service. They're back out. They're performing. They've got hits coming out, hit after hit, we see. But what people just really, I think for me, is the consistency that they deliver each time that I see them with. They were very popular in a lot of ways before they went into the military and did their own thing. But love them. And they delivered a great performance too. So you should take a look at that. Most cosmopolitan artists, which went to IVE. And we all know that that group they've done so much. And they're just their own entity as well too. They include, Wanyang, which everybody is obsessed with. It seems like she is her own thing, but people love this group. They love what they do. They love what they put out. And, they will continue to do that. So Cosmopolitan Award, next generation to the group Kiki. And I see why. These girls are up and coming, and, they just popped out on the scene, and very good group, done great things. And I think that you're going to see a lot more of them this year as they begin to emerge and come out of the year. I love this because it went to one of my favorite groups, Cordis. Love, love, love them. And I think they well deserved it. I'm happy they got it because, again, they've done something that we haven't seen in K-pop in a long time. They shared it with was All Day Project. Again, different group, co-ed type group. People have been talking about this group all year for various reasons. But they are an up and coming group. Some people have their views on them, but whether or not they deserve to be here, or whether is it because of the whole connections that they have. But at the end of the day, I think they're proving that they are setting their own pace and their own mark in the industry. And they had a great look as for fashion on the red carpet as well too. So you should check that out. Now, best album was shared across all fronts. Now I'm going to start this list, and people are going to be mad, but I'm going to start it with the people that I love the most, which is ATEEZ. ATEEZ shared a Best Artist album for the Golden Disc Awards. They shared that with Enhypen, TXT, 17. I'm going through the list. Zero Base One, love them. They shared it with IVE, Rise, Stray Kids, G-Dragon. They shared it also with La Seraphim, whom I also love too. Boy Next Door, who is up and coming and I love too. They were just, they gave this to a lot of artists, which I love because they're sharing the wealth of what a great best album is. And all of these guys deserve that. NCT Wish was also on there. So overall, these awards were great. People loved it. Golden Disc, again, 40th anniversary. They've been around for a long time. And I think they've proven that this kind of award show is, recognizing the talent. They talked about how they voted and different things. And I think a lot of industry people are starting to see where people are validating how they vote for what and who. Because of such controversy that happened back with G-Dragon, where people were trying to say they weren't sure if the voting was right, if he really was the main character who deserved the awards that he won at that time. But, they actually, put out relevant information validating how they do their voting and how they came to terms with, all of the winners that they chose, which I think was great. Industry members, industry people, they seem to gravitate towards, what's leading in the industry and what's happening in K-pop right now. So I commend them for what they did. This was just a quick snapshot, but I do thank you for tuning in. And, we're just to let people know we are changing the whole view of what we do. And again, I cannot tell you how grateful I am for, the people that have subscribed, the people that will subscribe, and the people that will, take a look at what we do here. This is something that came and I loved, and I will continue to love, and I will continue to do. It's not about, views, subscribers. It's not about any of that. It's about the love of the industry, the love of the music, the love of what they do. And that's what I do. So thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great one. Until